always going to miss. I mean, Shalom, everyone. Wow. I'm sorry, but since we have our family school here with us today, I'm going to do what we would do if this were a Sunday morning. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Oh, much better. You're really there, I thought for just a moment. It was a very realistic illusion. Welcome. I'm so pleased that you're here with us. I'm Leslie Zucker, and I am the musical coordinator here at Congregation Beth Torah. I'm joined tonight by our musicians and our technical team, and I'm very thrilled that tonight I'm also joined by our fifth grade class and their families and their teacher and our principal and their madracha. It's just such a wonderful night, and thank you all for being here to support them on this really important step in their Jewish journey. We appreciate you very, very much. For those of you who are here in person, I wanted to remind you that we're calling the page numbers in the square brackets down at the bottom. So when page numbers come up, let me do this and you can get started looking for the first one. It will be the page numbers in brackets, and I am going to remind us all to silence our electronic devices. God always calls right in the middle of an important prayer. So put it on silent, on vibrate, whatever it is. It is my pleasure to start this evening inviting the fifth grade class who are going to lead us in our first prayer. So you can put your prayer books on the bench and come on up. And that is going to be the prayer on 121 when we are all ready.
These Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindled the light.
Oh, thank you very much. Now I invite the families to come up and join their learners, and we will all light the Shabbat candles. If you're watching from home, now would be the time to get your candles ready. Just give me a little noodle while they're walking up. I should have thought of that. And designate someone to be the trusted match person. To handle the matches. All right.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lecha likner leil Shabbat.
Thank you all so very much. You can all go to your seats except for the three of you who know who you are. The rest of us, we will be joining together on page 130 to join in Psalm 95. Go forth singing songs of joy to the eternal. And tonight is such a song of joy, and just a reminder to my fifth graders, I should have three of you in the big chairs. Lecha Dodi is on page 138. We sing together to welcome the Shabbat bride. Lecha Dodi. At the bottom of page 145, entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent is all the time, even at unlikely times and through unlikely places. There is no place on earth without the presence. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Baruch hu et Adonai. You may be seated. Roll into dark, roll into night. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into night. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Borei is my great pleasure to invite Alina up to lead us in our next reading on page 151.
As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Israel.
Thank you very much. You are welcome to stay seated for the Shema, a little learning moment. We often stand for the Shema, but that's because we were just standing in the prayer that we did before. And what the early rabbis believed was that you should do the Shema in whatever position you were just in, because it's an important enough prayer that we don't want to distract by moving. So since we were seated, we will stay seated if you are comfortable with that. If you need to rise, I am not going to judge you. Shema Yisrael. I'd like to invite Sam up to lead us in our next reading. We invite you to read with us on page, nope, I'm sorry, you are correct, I'm wrong. I saw it in your eyes. Florence is next. Sorry, I'm sorry. See, practicing for Yom Kippur already, I'm sorry. Florence will be leading us in our next reading on page 157.
Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood on Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there's a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together.
Thank you so much, Florence. All right, Micha Mocha is next on page 158. It is my great pleasure to call Samuel up to lead us in our next reading on page 161. That's page 161.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts. May we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will.
Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim.
Thank you very much. We continue on page 162 with Veshamru. Veshamru. ata Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, El Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'mevii Gula livnei v'nehem, L'man Shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham be'ezrat Sarah, Ata Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei metim ata Rav le'Hoshia, Morid hatal, Mechayel chakim bechesed, Mechayei metim berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofech olim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato lishenei afar, Micha mocha b'gevurot, Umido melach, Melech memit umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah l'chayot metim, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hametim. Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kdoshim b'chol yom yalu chasela, Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. Where might I find you, exalted, hidden one? Yet where would I not go to find you, ever-present, eternal one? My heart cries out to you. Please draw near me. The moment I reach out for you, I find you reaching in for me. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day, and may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu, Ve'amcha Yisrael. Ritzei It's invite you to continue the Amidah silently with the prayers in the book or the prayers of your heart, and to be seated when you have completed those prayers. It is now time for our Simcha moment. We invite you to come up to the microphone to share a special Simcha, a joy from this past week. It can include birthdays, anniversaries, good news from this past week. Wow, is that redundant? If you are online, type your Simcha in the comments line. If you are in person, please join us on the Bima. And after you share your Simcha, we invite you to stay up for a blessing. Please don't touch the microphone. You know the drill. I would like to say that I believe that it is a simcha for the entire congregation, that we have had so many beautiful family services this year. I know that many of you have been here to see all of them with our young learners leading us. And I think tonight is extra special because our fifth graders, after fifth grade, move on to Chag and start studying for their bar and bat mitzvahs and in earnest. And that's really exciting for the life of a congregation and for the life of the Jewish people. All right, say your name. Tell us what you're happy about.
My name is Carol. I think everybody knows me by now. But I got to be Shalom Squad tonight, and I really enjoyed doing that.
My name is Edna, and I went to have physical therapy this week for the first time, and met a cousin I didn't know I had. Very nice cousin.
You met a cousin you didn't know you had at physical therapy?
Yes.
Of course you did. That's amazing.
Are we supposed to stay up?
Whatever, I'm easy.
I'm sorry.
Hi, my name is Marilyn. This might be a little bit too long, but I don't know how many people know, older people know about Johnson County Aging Department, and they have some wonderful programs, and I happen to be, I'm not an artist by any means. I felt like I'm very unartistic, actually, and I followed a class online, and I was surprised to find out that a picture of my painting and myself sitting in my living room at home was in the Best of Times magazine this month.
Mr. Zipper, it's good to see you up and about.
Thank you. It's Dr. Zipper, and I need your copay.
I'm sorry, Dr. Zipper, now I do owe him a copay.
The reason why I'm up here, I'm Ron, is 7 weeks ago I had a bad accident, and today, after 7 weeks, I got parole from the hospital. I want to thank everyone who is helping from CBT, but more importantly, being a patient for 7 weeks has taught me what it's like to be one of my thousands of patients over the years, because I've always stood by the bed with a chart, not in the bed, needing help. And it was a humbling experience, but it was very positive because I learned what all of my patients have gone through.
So some of you may know that we are in the time of period called the Omer, when we count every day. So I have a little poem and a blessing for you. It's called Soft Eyes by Yael Chaikind. And if I said that wrong, Yael, wherever you are, I'm sorry. I walked past a tree buzzing ferociously, laden with hundreds of green buds, yet did not see a single bee. And I stared through a square of branched sky, hoping for a glimpse, puzzled, because this was a very loud tree. And while I watched and waited and wondered, suddenly my eyes softened and the tree erupted into focus with the flit and flight of dozens of yellow jackets ablaze with their loving task. And I pondered the other marvels I might miss when I am blinded by my goals instead of yielding to what is right in front of my eyes. Beautiful. And I did not cue them to share joys that were about seeing what is right in front of your eyes, and every single one of them were. May you all be blessed with seeing what is right in front of you instead of fretting about what may or may not be. May all of us be so blessed. Before we sing our Shehechianu, we're going to count the Omer. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat haomer. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who sanctifies us with mitzvot and commands us concerning the counting of the Omer. Hayom Tisha ve'esrim yom shehem arba'a shavuot ve'yom echad la'omer. Today is 29 days, which is 4 weeks and 1 day of the Omer. And now we gather all these blessings as we honor each of you for the gifts you bring to our sacred community and join together in song as we mark this sacred occasion. Thank you very much, and it is now time for a little changing of the guard. I need to invite up my ARC openers, the 5th grade class. I'm just going to ask you to come up here and wait just a moment because we got a lot of stuff to move around up here. And my Torah readers, Jill Madoff and Edna Riley. Edna, you'll just want to stay up here, I am guessing. The service for the reading of Torah begins on page 360. Oh, somebody stepped on the magic spot. 367, we are going to begin with Romemu. I'm just gonna pretend like I had this planned all along. No, I'm gonna need that. Just bear with me, bear with me. Grr, arg. All right, are we ready for our big job? Romemu, Adonai, stand up, 'cause we're bringing out the Torah. Thank you. Romemu, Adonai, Eloheinu, ve'ishachavu, ve'hakocho, ki kadosh Adonai, Eloheinu, Romemu. You may all be seated. The blessings will be on page 368. I invite, right, we're reading Torah first, correct? No, right, we're reading Torah and then doing the Devar, correct, is what you said? Yes, I would like to invite Menahela Morgan, our principal of the religious school, and Denise Ellenberg, our 5th grade teacher, for the Aliyah. And the reading is in the Chumash on page 927. That's 927.
Baruch hu et Adonai Hambarah. Baruch atah Adonai. Sorry. Baruch atah Adonai Baruch le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher na'atar banu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Vayedaber Adonai el Moshe Lemor. I am the Lord and the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, here's the end of the line. Where did it go? Oh, there we go. Thank you. Daber el B'nai Yisrael va'amarta alehem moadei Adonai asher tikra'u otam mikra'e kodesh ele haim moadai. Speak to the Israelites, and you shall say to them, these are the fixed times of the Lord, which you shall call sacred convocations. These are my fixed times.
Sheshet yamim ta'aseh melacha, uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat Shabbaton, mikrae kodesh. Kol melacha lo ta'asu Shabbat hu l'Adonai b'chol moshvotechem. 6 days you will do your work, but on the seventh day it is a Shabbat of complete rest, a sacred convocation. It is a sacred convocation to the Lord in all of your dwellings. Ela moadei Adonai mikrae kodesh asher tikra'u otam moadam. These are the fixed times, the sacred convocations which you shall call at their fixed times.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam natan b'Torenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen.
To the fifth graders. When I became a bat mitzvah, the first thing that all of us had to do was meet alone with the rabbi. It was very friendly, but we knew that what he really wanted was to find out how much we knew about Judaism. The first clue, was that he began by asking us to list all of the Jewish holidays in order. So I know you're not quite B'nai Mitzvah students yet, but see if you can join me and do this. Let's start with Rosh Hashanah, right? Okay, so 10 days after Rosh Hashanah comes the I'm sorry holiday. Thank you, Yom Kippur. 5 days after Yom Kippur, we build kind of weirdo buildings out to Sukkot. And then Sukkot, at the very, very end of Sukkot, there are two separate holidays, but they come like right at the end of Sukkot, so people think they're Sukkot, but they're not. They're Shmini Atzeret, where ancient people used to pray for rain, and then we have where we end the Torah and begin the Torah. Anybody remember that? Simcha Torah, very good. And then we hit a holiday desert, kind of the month of November. There's no holidays there. But in December, what do we get? You bet. Hanukkah, we go into January, we get the birthday of the trees, Tu B'Shvat, and then we go into the very fun holiday in March. We mask up, we eat cookies that are shea, Purim, and then the holiday we just celebrated, which was Passover. Right. And then there are other holidays in the spring and the summer that we honor if they're sad. We remember them if they're sad, or we celebrate. But the rabbi never asked me about that, so we won't go into those. So easy peasy, let's do it together. Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Shmini Atzeret, Simchat Torah, Hanukkah, Tu B'Shvat, bring it in, Purim and easy peasy. That's right. Now here's a harder question. How do we know all of this? How do we know that Yom Kippur is 10 days after Rosh Hashanah whether you live in Kansas or Paris or China? Well, the answer is that a lot of these holidays are spelled out in this week's very long Torah portion. And when I say very long, I mean this Torah portion is 123 verses, longer than any other portion in the Torah. For a long time, this is true, I thought it was because the name of the Torah portion was Amor, which means speak. And once you get a Jewish person talking, it's hard to get them to stop. But no. It's long because it takes a lot of verses to describe each holiday, but more importantly, how each holiday relates to two big Jewish ideas. The first idea is introduced way back in the Torah, literally, in the beginning. The earth, remember, was dark and unformed, the same, all the sameness, and God said, "Let there be..." Exactly, "Let there be light. And when something comes first in the Torah, it's really important, so hold on to that. The darkness was now called night, and night was followed by this brand new light, and we have a day. In other words, God created a unit of time. And by doing this, first, God established time as the foundation for everything that followed. And you may say, so what? Of course, time, of course. No, not necessarily. The Babylonians were another ancient community. The most important part of their creation story was the construction of a thing, a temple to the god Marduk. And by doing this, they established the thing as the foundation for everything that followed. Now, I'm not saying that places and things aren't important. They are. Most Jews feel a very strong connection to Israel, for example. But we don't believe that the creator of the world is symbolized by a certain thing, like a temple. Or we can compare what we believe with what Christians believe. They believe that a human being was born, then he died, then he was born again as the Son of God. And they're loyal to Jesus in all things, above all things, in all things. Now, I'm not saying that people are unimportant. People are very important, and we respect our leaders. But we're not loyal to any one of them in all things. That would be like being in a cult. That would be idolatry. So back to our story. It wasn't, speaking of time, it wasn't until the sixth day of creation that humans were created. And we know it was the sixth day, right? Because evening and morning, day one, evening and morning, day two, and on until we get to the sixth day. And the humans were presented with gifts beyond measure. Mountains and sunsets and puppies and brains that could solve important problems. Just like we are today. Of all the gifts that we are given every day, the most precious is time. The minutes, the days, and the years we are given on this earth. It doesn't matter what color we are, where we live, how much we have. Each of us is given 60 seconds in a minute, 24 hours in a day, 7 days in a week, and every single part of our lives depends on how we spend this gift. That is, how we use our time. This Torah portion, Amor, gives us a lot of guidance because it suggests that we use time on Shabbat to stop working and just relax. That we use time on Yom Kippur to apologize to other people, and time during Passover to eat matzah, lots of matzah. We call these actions Jewish rituals, and every one of them is scheduled to take place at a fixed time. You add up all the fixed times, and what do you have? You have a Jewish calendar. Since we're on the subject of time, a lot of us have smartwatches. This one's a little bit smarter than this. Well, the Jewish calendar is a genius watch. You don't wear it around your wrist, you wrap it around your brain, you wrap it around your heart. And yes, this is the way that you remember Shabbat, the next month because of a new moon, the next festival because you just named all of them. And yes, it sends text messages. No, it's not about the next thing you just have to have. It's not about the next juicy piece of gossip. But it connects you to the people and the values that are most important, that you know in your heart are most important. Things like respecting others and taking care of the earth and saying thank you. And it's hard to live Jewishly without a genius watch. In other words, without a Jewish calendar. I mean, think about it. If you didn't get reminded on Yom Kippur, and you're very busy people, I know that you are, you might forget how important it is to say, I'm sorry, I'll do better. If you didn't get reminded during Passover that your people were slaves, and that there are people living in slave-like conditions today, you might forget to be grateful for your freedom. No matter how smart you are, you still need a genius watch to remind you of God's fixed times. First big idea, the fixed times. The second big idea is close behind in importance. So I'll read this, what we just read. Speak to the Israelites, say to them, these are the fixed times of the Lord, which you shall call sacred convocations. These are my fixed times. 6 days shall tasks be done, and on the seventh day, an absolute Sabbath, a sacred convocation. No tasks shall you do. It is a Sabbath for the Lord in all of your dwelling places. These are fixed times of the Lord, sacred convocations, which you shall call in their fixed times. So, we have another big word here. We have like fixed times, fixed times, fixed times, fixed times. I read that 4 times. Another hint. When something's repeated and it's kind of an odd word, it's important. I read sacred convocations 3 times. There's got to be a connection here. We only read 4 verses, okay? First, we need to understand what we're talking about. Sacred convocation, just a couple of fancy words meaning a gathering of people. Not people who happen to be in the mall at the same time. That's just a mob. A convocation is a gathering of people who've gotten together for a special purpose, okay? Soon there will be lots of graduations, right? Those are convocations. Special, deep meaning. Back to the connection. Clearly, fix, convocation. Clearly, this portion is teaching us that at fixed times, we're supposed to be with our people, part of that gathering of people. Praying together, singing together, standing up and sitting down, standing up, sitting down, standing up, sitting down, standing up, sitting down. We're supposed to do this with our people. And so you wonder, why? Why can't I just do this by myself? I bring the prayer book home and I do it by myself. The answer is this. Something magic happens when we're together that doesn't happen when we're alone. Let me give you a fun example. Daniel Pink, Jewish author, by the way, is an author of several books, and I heard him talking the other day about one named When. Not win, but when. And he talked about when to wake up in the morning, how long it takes for coffee to affect you, 25 minutes. When to take naps and how long they should be, 12 to 15 minutes. And different activities that make you a better person. Of course, exercise was at the top of the list, and you're crazy if you don't do it. It lowers blood pressure, increases productivity, I'm reading now, makes you feel more energetic, puts you in a better mood, and makes you feel more kind and cooperative toward others. He didn't make this up. This is research. Exercise wins the gold medal, but you know what gets the silver medal? Sleeping? Meditation? Good food? All good guesses, but wrong. The activity that is almost as good for you as exercise is choral singing.
Woohoo.
Did you know that? I did not. Choral singing, not making it up. Lots of research, that's right. Even if you're just humming along, the benefits come with doing something together, coordinating, or for the adults, synchronizing our actions. The same thing happens when we chant, when we sway, when we stand, when we sit and stand at the same time. In other words, when we're together doing this. So, yay, convocations. But there's more. Convocation also means invitation. It's the definition. Getting back to today's Torah verses, I'm going to change one word and see if it feels any different. Speak to the Israelites, say to them, these are fixed times of the Lord, which you shall call sacred invitations. 6 days shall your tasks be done. On the seventh day, it's an absolute Sabbath, a sacred invitation. These are fixed times of the Lord, sacred invitations. Small change, big difference, right? I mean, how do you feel when you receive an invitation? Most of the times, really good. Not always, but most of the times, really good. Someone cared enough to include you. If someone invited you to meet them at synagogue for Shabbat services, how likely is it that you would come? I can tell you my answer. This is true. I used to, and I still do, attend study sessions on Saturday morning. Then I would go home. And then someone, Paula Fremmerman, actually, she came up to me and said, "Why don't you stick around for services? Just stick around." And I was invited, so I did, and I enjoyed it. And now, more often than not, I come. Why? Just because someone invited me. My guess is that some of you are here today because you were invited by Morgan and by Denise to celebrate with your 5th graders. I want to tag on to their invitation. I'm inviting you to come again and again and again. And as importantly, maybe more importantly, I'm inviting you to invite others. Maybe just once a month, maybe for the next special event. But I will tell you this, we need you, each one of you, to form our sacred convocation. To the 5th graders, I say Mazel Tov, and to the rest of you, I say Shabbat Shalom.
Our thoughts turn now to those among us who are in need of healing. Your Misha Berach list, our Misha Berach list, is on the announcement sheet that you found in your book. If you are at home, I invite you to type the names in the comments line of those you are praying for. If you are here in person, I invite you to share names with us now. I would like to also do just a little bit of spiritual healing. That was a very lovely Devar. Thank you, Jill. And I think that there might have been something, you were speaking very quickly, and there might have been something that might have been misheard. And I want to make sure we have a lot of interfaith families here and a lot of interfaith friends. And I want to make sure everybody knows we do not think that Christianity is a cult. We know that you follow God above all else, and we are brothers and sisters in that faith. And I just want to make sure that we all heard what was intended in a time of speaking very quickly. We join together in the Misha Berach on page 371. Misha before us, help us find the courage now, with all of you and our Torah out as witnesses, we invite our 5th grade class back up for our Chag HaSiddur, so they may receive their prayer books that they take with them on the next leg of their Jewish journey. And I invite Miss Denise and Menahelet Morgan to come up and deliver those books. Check, check.
There we go. Thank you. Xander Zarsky. Noah Falikoff. Samuel Kirstein. Alina Slepikoff. And Florence Weepelman.
I invite you, as you see our 5th graders after services in the Ulam, to congratulate them and share with them any thoughts that you have on the Jewish journey. We are so excited that they have been with us, made it through religious school on their way to Chag. It is so exciting. Thank you for being part of our journey and for part of our service tonight. They have one more bit, but for right now, we are going to return the Torah to the Ark. I invite you to stand and turn to page 374 for Eitz Chaim. To stay standing as we move into the Aleinu, which is on page 586 and 591. Aleinu l'shapeach laton hakol, latit gedula le'otzei breshit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot, Our thoughts turn now to those who we have lost at this time and in this season. Recently laid to rest in the Shloshim period, Arnold Lee Cole, stepfather and father-in-law of Greg Raymond and Brandy Fisher, and grandfather of Shoshana and Jonathan, and on the occasion of their yahrzeits. Adrian Bolliger, Sylvia Brothers, Bess Crane, Phyllis R. Dubinsky, Samuel Feynman, Jerome A. Fisher, Ida Biggis-Haken, Norman Kaplan, Phil Kessler, Esther Malky Klieger, Selma Critchever, Phyllis Lenski, Esther Levinson, Wolfgang Lewandowski, Jean Myers, Joel Osman, Norton Polinsky, Belle Schrago, Richard Von End, Burton Bud Willer. If you are saying Kaddish for someone this evening or would like to correct one of my pronunciations, I invite you to do so at this time. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be such a blessing. We invite you to rise if you are able and if it is your custom for the Kaddish Yatom, which is on page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba, be'alma divrach hirutei ve'amlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yemechon u'v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'bizman kari v'imru amen. Yehe shemei rabba mevarach le'alam u'lamei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudisha brichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, da'miram b'alma v'imru amen. Yehe shalama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom. All right, I'm going to try to get to the announcements quickly because I know the fifth graders are itching to share the closing song with you. They've been trying to get to it all night. Thank you to our musicians, Susie Adams, Larry Meyer, Howard Pittler, and Warren Sickle. Thank you to our Shalom Squad and ushers, Carol Duchak and Ken Simpson. And I think I also saw Caroline back there helping. Yes, and Caroline is the madracha of the fifth graders, and she will be raising our Kiddush cup. So she is part of our Friday worship honors. Thank you as well. And to the fifth grade families, thank you for all the time the grown-ups give to help make sure that their learners have an amazing Jewish experience. We appreciate you so much. And to Jill Madoff and Edna Riley for sharing beautiful words of Torah with us this evening. Our Shabbat celebrations continue tomorrow with Sichat Shabbat, our Shabbat conversation in the library. This week's topic is ancient flood myths. Following Sichat, we will have Shabbat morning worship back here in the sanctuary. Both are multi-access. Your next opportunity to save a life is Sunday. We have been partnering with the Community Blood Center in B'nai Yehuda, and they are hosting this time, Sunday. You can scan the QR code there, or if you go on our website, you can hit the link and still sign up to give blood on Sunday. They are taking walk-ins, but they do not have very many walk-in slots, so if you want to give blood this Sunday, I recommend that you register. We are, yeah, that did that thing. We are collecting graduate information. If you're a Beth Torah member and have a child graduating or you are graduating, send stuff to Sharon Altman. You can find what we are looking for in the 5 things or ask Sharon. You can see we have so much going on. I'm going to invite the class to come back up for our closing song. I'm going to find the slide that does not seem to have appeared here because it is hidden, and I'm going to fix it right now. I invite you to stand together. Now, before we start singing, Miss Aline, are you still going to teach us our actions? Okay, so everyone, I invite you to stand up, and we're going to teach you our actions.
All right, so we go pat, 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 crossover, crossover, pound, 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 jazz hands, jazz hands.
All right, are we ready? Just fake it, that's what we do. We're gonna do it 3 times, we're gonna get faster each time. I'm just warning you now. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you very much. We'll see you out in the Ulam for Kiddush and Motzi.